My name is Michael, and I have the best job in the world. I'm an assistant to the stars of Hollywood. People always ask me, what does an assistant do? So I started this podcast to show everyone. Honestly, there's only one rule for being an assistant. When given a task, get it done no matter what. Currently, I work for legendary Western actor Jack Forrester, who you probably know from the 1952 classic The Stagecoach Cometh, or 1947's Mr. Sheriff. Today's task? Mr. Forrester would like to pet a killer whale. After watching Free Willy for the first time last week, Mr. Forrester has become enamored with killer whales, which is why he wants to meet and pet one. Petting killer whales isn't something that people generally get to do. But then again, Mr. Forrester isn't some people. He's a legendary Hollywood actor, so I called up SeaWorld to arrange a petting appointment.
Thank you for calling SeaWorld and Aquatica San Diego.
Hello, thank you for calling SeaWorld Ambush Gardens. Your agent today is Jamel. How can I help you?
Hello, I'm Jack Forrester's assistant. The movie star from the Western classic, The Dusty Trail. Anyways, Mr. Forrester would like to pet a killer whale.
You would like to pet a killer whale?
Mr. Forrester would.
He's trying to find out if you'll be able to pet a killer whale.
Yes, and Mr. Forrester is completely comfortable around whales. He was actually around them on the set of the 1950s classic There She Blows, which was kind of a spiritual sequel to Moby Dick.
Okay.
Is petting killer whales something you guys offer?
Not normally, no.
Do you have to be a trainer to pet the killer whales?
So normally you see, based on the fact that the killer whales are like specially trained, we normally don't advise that. We normally don't allow the petting of the killer whales.
The SeaWorld representative made it clear that only trainers got to pet the killer whales. And after doing some late-night research at the city library, I discovered that you need a degree in marine biology to become a SeaWorld trainer. Mr. Forrester is too old to go back to school for 4 years. Frankly speaking, he may not even have 4 years left. So I called a local for-profit college to inquire about getting Mr. Forrester an honorary degree in marine biology.
Thank you for calling. This is Sierra with the admissions department. With who am I speaking with today?
My name is Michael, and I'm Jack Forrester's assistant.
Okay, how can I help you today, Michael?
Hi, yes, I was wondering if you guys do honorary degrees.
Define honorary degrees for me.
So like sometimes at big graduations you see like a guest speaker who gets an honorary degree, and Mr. Forrester was hoping to get an honorary doctorate in marine biology.
So we don't offer doctorate programs in that field.
Would you be able to offer one if Mr. Forrester made a generous contribution to the scholarship fund, say $300? I called 7 more for-profit colleges, all of which came up with some phony excuse for why they couldn't offer a motion picture legend an honorary doctorate in marine biology. Finally, I just gave up and decided to subvert the bureaucracy of higher education entirely, and instead just get a fake certificate made, bestowing the necessary degree upon Mr. Forrester. Also, to help his chances of getting hired at SeaWorld, I decided to have the certificate say that Mr. Forrester was a graduate of both Harvard and Yale.
Good afternoon, Edco. This is Nancy. Can I help you?
Hi. I was wondering if you guys make certificates?
Yes, if we type in certificates on our website, they'll come right up.
Perfect. And my employer, Jack Forrester, the legendary Hollywood actor, would like a certificate that says he's a doctorate in marine biology from Harvard and Yale. Is that something we can customize?
Yeah, you can have it say whatever you would like to.
Great. And do they look real? Because it's critical the certificate looks real.
Are you on our website? Can you look at one?
Yeah.
Do you think it looks real? I mean, yeah. It doesn't have a seal, like a raised seal or anything on it, but which a real document would from those schools would have a raised seal.
Well, I can I can fake that part of it. I'm trying to get an idea of if it has enough space, though. Would it have enough space for this text? This doctorate is hereby given to Mr. Jack Forrester from both Harvard and Yale as proof that he completed his doctorate in marine biology. And so it is done.
Yeah, you can see that's a lot less text than the sample that we show on our website.
Awesome. And do you guys offer discounts on certificates for big celebrities like Mr. Forrester?
Nope, never heard of him. Sorry, anyway.
Oh, he was
no,
the...
we don't offer discounts for anybody.
He was
Sorry.
the dad in
The
Jaws
prices-
3.
Got you.
The certificate store representative, who's clearly been living under a rock, was a huge help. So, armed with a fake diploma from Harvard and Yale, I called up SeaWorld again to see when certified marine biologist Jack Forrester could come by and pet a killer whale.
Thank you for calling SeaWorld and Aquatica San Diego.
Thank you for calling SeaWorld Busch Gardens. This is Taylor. How may I help you?
Hello, I'm Jack Forrester's assistant.
Okay, how can I help you?
Yeah, and well, he's the legendary actor from Westerns in the 50s, and he's also a doctorate in marine biology from Harvard and Yale.
Okay. Is he looking to get tickets or?
Yeah, well, since he has such an advanced degree from two very prestigious schools, is he able to pet the killer whales?
With that one, most likely no. We're not very lenient on allowing even if that were the case. We really only allow our trainers to touch the killer whales. Is there anything else I can help you with?
Actually, yeah, I do have one more question. How does one end up being a trainer there? Is it like a long process, or is it something we can do over the phone now?
No, I mean like he would have to be employed with SeaWorld in order to be a trainer. He would have to apply through the SeaWorld website.
Okay, got it.
Yeah, it would have to be like a genuine employment with SeaWorld.
Great, and you guys don't offer like honorary employments?
Right, no sir.
If anyone deserves the benefit of the doubt, it's SeaWorld. But it just didn't seem fair that Mr. Forrester, a Hollywood legend and a holder of a doctorate from both Harvard and Yale, wasn't allowed to pet the killer whales. But just when I was about to tell Mr. Forrester that I'd failed, I remembered something. Not all killer whales were in tanks at SeaWorld. There were still a few out in the ocean. Feeling hopeful, I called up a local whale watching company here in LA.
Davies Walker, this is Sterling. How may I assist you?
Hello, I'm calling about the whale watching tour.
Okay, how can I help you?
Yeah, so I'm calling on behalf of Jack Forrester, the legendary actor, and he was hoping to go on a tour and possibly touch one of the whales, maybe pet one. Is that something your tour offers?
It's a possibility on one of our ultimate whale watching adventures. It's never a guarantee. It's not very healthy for the whales, but if they are close enough, then you can go ahead and extend your arms out to touch them.
Perfect. And do you often run into killer whales off the coast of Los Angeles?
It's very rare that we see them on the southern coast. They're more northern. So when we see them here in Newport Beach, it's once or twice a year. Usually a couple times in the summer. We saw them last week, and then a couple times in the winter, but it is rare because they're not typically in this area.
Great. Well, you know what? He's quite old, so I can just, even if we don't see one, then I can just tell him that's a killer whale that he's touching. Maybe like an albino one or something, so no big deal.
That would be on you. More than welcome to do that. Again, it's not what our marine biologists on board would probably correct you, but you're more than welcome to do that.
Going in, I was a little worried that whale watching companies wouldn't let people touch the whales, so I was elated to find out that this one actually encouraged it. I think the representative's exact words were, "The whales love being touched." However, she did mention that seeing a whale wasn't guaranteed. So in order to help our odds, I decided to buy some fish to throw in the water to attract a whale. And where else to buy fish but Petco?
Thank you for choosing Petco on Health Street. How can I help you?
Hi, yeah. So I'm going on a whale watching expedition,
Okay.
and I was hoping to buy some fish so that I could attract a whale. What's your biggest fish?
You would have to call the Petco in Huntington Park in state of Dallas.
Why is that?
Yeah, we don't carry that. We don't carry that one here. We don't carry those items in this store.
Fish?
Yeah.
Since I didn't have time to travel all the way to the great state of Dallas, I decided to try my luck with a local bait shop.
Hello?
Hello. I've got a bait question.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going on a whale watching tour. Actually, I'm going with my boss, Jack Forrester, and we wanted to increase our odds of seeing a whale by dangling bait over the side. What kind of bait would like a killer whale go for?
I have no idea.
Okay. What kind of bait would you suggest for just catching a big fish?
Like mackerel?
It was a perfect LA morning when the whale watching expedition set sail. Mr. Forrester didn't want to pay for 2 tickets, which is understandable given that they were $29 each. So I bought my own and we set off together into the Great Pacific. As we glided through the ocean, which was like glass, I was prepared to drop mackerel over the side, which I'd smuggled aboard in my underpants. But it turned out it wasn't even necessary. A gray whale immediately came up to the boat to say hello. And since Mr. Forrester can't see well and doesn't actually have a doctorate in marine biology from Harvard and Yale, I successfully convinced him it was a killer whale he was touching. I didn't become a Hollywood assistant for the perks, but boy did I relish calling a whale watching expedition my office for the day. Not exactly work, if you ask me.